Afternoon, Greg. Right, I'm just having a little nosy. Might go down there later when I come back. So, what's up with this lighting? You guys hear me okay? So, we're in a nice little village in Kent. Great, thank you, Alphabet Cat. Services in autumn. There's the church. I think the church. Maybe there's the vicar's house. Mm-hmm. 35th Shoreham Church. Cool. So I've been to this village a couple of times in the past when I used to live in Kent. I used to live about 3 stops away on the train, and it really is a beautiful little village. Shoreham is. It's what I call a winter village in the sense that it looks very old-fashioned, picturesque in winter, especially when there's snow falling on it. It's a really beautiful little village. Um, Yeah, so I've basically got a day to kill today, so I might do a couple of live streams. There's another village, two kind of villages next door to each other. There's Amesford, and then there's, I think it's called Farmingham, and they were really cool. I remember when I used to live in when I used to live in Swanley. That's a nearby town. Yeah, that's a town I used to live nearby. We would go on. I would get my friends up to um, the main, like where I used to live, and then I would say, let's go on a pub crawl via the trains, or we'll walk through the fields. It would take an age. We'll fill our backpacks full of booze, and then we'll go through the Kent countryside, go into pubs like this, for example. Is the picture okay, guys? It seems a bit dark. So I'll tell you a story. Years ago, right? So the train station is further down here, Shoreham train station. And years ago, I was coming back from Catford, I believe it was, because it was the same line that goes through here goes to Catford station. Believe it or not, like you got a beautiful, picturesque village, and then you got a shithole as Catford. And I was coming back from Catford, and I got the last train back to Swanley, and I fell asleep. I fell asleep on the train because I was a bit pissed, and I woke up. Oh look! Oh, never. When you see a penny, don't stop and get it, because it shows you have too much money. So I missed the train, and where it was when I woke up, it was heading into Shoreham. The first time I've been to Shoreham. So I got off and it was pitch black. There's no street lights here, nothing, right? And I saw from there where the train station is. I saw a faint light in the distance. It's anywhere I could walk. I knew there's a little sign that said Shoreham Village, and I thought, well, it's the only place I can go. My phone was dead, run out of battery, so I just went, fuck it, I've got to find somewhere so I can, I don't know, hopefully there'll be a cab firm down here or something. So I walked down here, and this was the light, the pub, the Samuel Palmer pub. Was it always called that? I can't remember. So I went in here, and keeping in mind it was about 1 a.m, something like that. And guess what? The pub was still open. Small little village. It's like around here, it's like a law to itself, right? They weren't meant to be open, but I walked in and I said, "Oh hi, do you have a number for a cab station?" And they said, "Yeah, well, nearest one is Seven Oaks cabs." And I went, "Well, that'll have to do." This is before Uber. So I went in there, and then I was just waiting. I used their landline. They were helpful, let me use the landline, and ordered the cab. Said it'd be about half an hour, and then I simply I said to them, like, "Is this pub still open?" And they said, "Yep." And I went, "Great, can I have a pint then?" And they went, "Yep." And I just started chatting to all the bar staff and stuff. But yeah, it was all open still. So It's like the first time I went to Shoreham. Um, yeah, good afternoon to Tony Garrett. Who else is here? Yeah, Alphabet Cat said hello. So yeah, it's the first time I went to Shoreham, and then the cab came along, dropped me back at Swanley and whatever. And then eventually I came back up here again for whatever reason, maybe with some people. And then I think there's like 3 pubs in this village. We went to all of them. They're really nice. You know, it's a really nice little village, Shoreham is. So yeah, so I got a bit of a free day today. I've got nothing to do. Usually I've got to be places, or I'm always doing something, guys. But this is actually a day I've had nothing to do. No driving, nothing. Not doing any driving. So I'm just going to do maybe a couple of live streams, perhaps, throughout the day. So all the nearby villages. Do you know what? I got to be honest, Joe. I really had to go toilet. There's no public toilets around here, and I could have gone to the pub there, bought a pint or something. But I was more nearer to the station, and I thought maybe, hopefully, the station will have a toilet, and it didn't. However, there was a train pulling up to. There was a train pulling up to the station, and I just thought, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to jump on. I'm going to jump on this train, use the toilet on the train, and then by the next stop, because they're kind of big distances from one village to the other, and by the time I got off the other village in Ainsford, I just got off the train, and then coincidentally the train was coming on the other side, and then then I was back in Shoreham. So within a span of 10 minutes, I had gone to Ainsford and Shoreham and took a dump as well. So one of the few times I'm caught short. Sounds like a one-day town. What does that mean? You mean like a one-horse town? Things to do in Shoreham. There are individual shops, a variety of bars and restaurants, and an award-winning monthly farmers market. Oh, I don't know about the farmers market. Must always miss that. But yeah, it really is just a beautiful little. I think I've been here when it's snowing, and I did. I did come when it was snowing once, and it was really, really beautiful. Like I said, it's like a winter picturesque kind of village. So, yeah, and it does have they're kind of good-looking kind of pubs in the sense that they look like they serve good food. Do you know what I mean? Probably expensive as well. I've not been here for ages, so I can't say. These are the people that died in Shoreham in the First World War. That's quite a lot of people. It's only a small village. 1914 to 1919. And then you have all of them. There's quite a lot of people for a small village. Probably wiped out a couple of family lines. Yeah, some of them got the same surnames. And then 1945, second. A few less wiser people. So yeah. So anyway, guys, I've got some bit of news to tell you. So I got a ominous text message this morning, and it said it was from you couldn't reply to it. It was like an automative kind of text, and it said that my vehicle has been marked, has been marked for ANPR camera. So obviously, I'm not paying the ULEZ. There we go, Samuel Palmer. Lived and worked here. From 1827 to 1835 or 34 or 5. So quite famous. I know the name Samuel Palmer. Let's have a look, see how far I can go. So I'm not paying the ULEZ, and I got an ominous text saying now my vehicle has been pegged for ANPR. Now, obviously, it's never going to be as easy as, oh, just don't pay and nothing's going to happen. There may be some consequences to that. However, it's still, in my opinion, the right thing to do, because there's only a limited amount of, oh, that's real, so it jumped. Um, there's only a limited amount of these companies that can do that, and they just don't have the resources to do it, and eventually it will just all collapse if enough people do it. Now, you have to be, now remember, I don't know if you guys know, when I was doing the UNN show a few months ago, I had Mark Windows on. And this is a guy who's been fighting this long before COVID, right? This is a guy, he's basically our true equivalent to like an Alex Jones-like character. He's been totally censored. You might not, the reason why you've probably not heard of him is because that's purposely done. I don't really think Alex Jones, the individual, is honest anymore. I think that he has been compromised. He has conformed to certain things. Mark Windows, I think, is the real deal. He's been cutting off clamps since late 90s, early 2000s, and he just says, look guys, you just got to grow some balls. You just got to buy an ankle grinder, 40 quid, and then when they clamp you and all of that, it is unlawful because they are putting their property upon your property, right? They really have no lawful way to do that. So they're putting your property on your property, and they're basically blackmailing you. Funny enough, when I read the text this morning, it said, contact Gareth. Not being funny, everyone I've ever met called Gareth in my life has been a total fucking bell end Burke, right? So that is the appropriate name for a clamper, Gareth, right? So contact Gareth, and it gave me the website to Bristol and Surrey. It's basically not even a bailiff, a private debt collector company. So obviously I thought perhaps my vehicle had been clamped because there was a white van next to where my van was parked. So I quickly got out, nothing on the wheel. And yeah, so I thought, oh good, so it's not that, it's just another random van. So I then went on to YouTube and I started watching, where's my battery? Oh, there it is. I started going into, clamps and all of that, and I watched. Do you remember the BBC show when BBC used to be half decent? The BBC show Rogue Traders. Does anyone remember that? And there was an episode, because I just typed in angle grinder clamp, and then it came up a few. Once you scrolled a few bit, it came up with BBC Rogue Traders, and there was a guy on a motorcycle. If you remember, there were two motorcycle guys. And they would go around and all these, and then basically there was a clamping firm, there was a private debt collectors firm, and everything they were saying was basically saying that it's not lawful, it's blackmail and all of this. And then they managed to, what they did was they clamped the guy who was going around clamping people and blackmailing them, saying, oh, if you don't release this for X amount, they want me to pay, me personally, they want me to pay 350 quid if the clamp is put on. So basically they're saying now, pay it now in advance, and then we will remove you from our pirate system, you know what I mean, or searching out for, they are pirates essentially. They just simply look out for any vehicle, and then as soon as it goes, they go after the vehicle and then they clamp you. So it's blackmail. So that's even the BBC saying that. That was about 10-15 years ago. So yeah, so I thought, well, what I'm going to do is, and what they did was, it was quite funny. They tricked a guy into going to a pub for some sort of meeting with an actor. He didn't know he was an actor, about a clamping contract for his pub. And what they did was, whilst he was in there, they clamped his vehicle, right? And basically gave him a taste of his own medicine. Now, I've got a clamp in my vehicle, guys, and I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm just going to clamp their vehicle if they clamp mine, and then it's just going to be a standoff. Well, there's no police that needs to be involved in it. It's not a criminal, it's a civil matter. However, you're clamping my vehicle, which is totally unlawful, and I'm clamping your vehicle, which is totally unlawful. So let's just keep it quits. You remove your clamp, I remove mine, and then we'll just go about our other days. Or I'll just get my angle grinder out and I cut it off, because your property is preventing my property from moving. And I'm giving you a reasonable instruction to remove the clamp in 2 minutes. So basically, I've invested into a clamp, not clamp, a angle grinder. I was waiting for Christmas to get it because, you know, I don't have much money nowadays. But I've just had to buy it there and then. So I want to thank, if Sporty Oxford is watching, he did donate to me. He gave me 20 or 25 quid. So that went to it. It was like 42 quid, I think, for the grinder set, angle grinder set. So when I looked at a few videos how to use it, how to angle, I had to grind off the clamps in a correct sort of efficient way within like 10 seconds or whatever. My name is Gareth. Well, that explains a lot more side, to be fair, if that is true. There you go, Chip. Yep. Yeah, the old Cook reports. Yeah, they're good. This is when it used to be decent. Do you know what I mean? Or they could claim blackmail or extortion. Yeah, we all know who the police will side with. Yeah, I know they will side with that. Because again, the police, I'm sorry if you guys have relatives in the police service and all that, but I'm just going to say this now. They're all traitors. They're all traitors to the people. They have gone against their oath. All they are is state policy enforcers. I know that's what the police means. They are policy, right? But they did swear an oath to the people as well. And their oath is meant to be more than just simply enforcing unjust, unlawful rules. The whole point of the oath is that if it is a fair law, if it is fair, then fine, they will enforce it. However, if it is tyrannical, if it is unjust, then they will not. They are individuals, right? They are people. They are citizens in uniform. That's what the police are, right? But what they do is they blindly go with the clamping people because, I don't know, even though they're acting unlawfully, because they've been told to in their police, Royal College of Policing, and they just do as they're told. They're dangerous order followers. That's what the police are. And they're all Masons, they're cults. The police nowadays is just a cult, guys. That's all it is. They all marry within. They're all weirdos. Do you know what I mean? It's just, they're all just not pleasant people. Psychos, a lot of them. Sociopaths. Do you know what I mean? You can type into your search engine right now. Type in police rape. Something like that. And you will find within that search results, you will find a copper who has been done for rape, done for kiddly fiddling, pedos. You will find it. So when I say the police are traitors to the people, I mean that with 110% accuracy. So that's my news today. So perhaps on this channel, prepare for videos of me grinding off clamps. Mark Windows has done it for years. He just says you just got to grow some balls. That's all. Yep, police are crooks by nature. Yep, totally agree. Yeah, negus idiots. Yeah, all the common purpose training. Or yeah, but they're all idiots as well. I mean, like apparently they've got an average IQ level of like a 14-year-old. Do you know what I mean? Like 14-year-old. Keeping in mind that like crows and magpies have the intelligence of a 12-year-old. No, sorry, an 8-year-old. So the average police are only 4 years ahead of the. Oh wait, 6 years ahead of the crow. Do you know what I mean? Like. I've never actually been this way before, guys. This is actually a new path for me. I didn't actually know there was that path that led down to the Samuel Palmer house. So I don't know where the hell I'm going now at this point. Yeah, like I said, this is like what I call like a winter village. It's very picturesque. Sort of thing that you would have on a Christmas card when there's snow here and everything. Dusty Roads Prep 101 Handy Hacks. What are you up to, Sean? Just walking through this village, mate. I got a free day. Don't need to do anything. Don't need to, not even drive, which is a rarity. I've always got to be somewhere chasing some cash or something, because, you know, like I said, I've chosen not to be as little into the system as possible. If that means me doing some minor cash in hand jobs, then fine, I'll do it. Like I said, I used to get a lot of income, guys. For a guy who has no degree, no official skills, I used to bring in almost like 50k a year. Now I don't even make a fifth of that a year. But it's the life I've chose, you know, and the life I want to do. So here it is, the third. Well, this would have been the third pub, but we've missed one because it went that path. The Crown, never been in this one. So yeah, so with oh, are they cows? No, they're just dogs. They're just milk dogs. So yeah, so my van has been marked for AMPR clamping. So obviously, I'll get some land pirates chasing me whilst I'm going down the motorways, perhaps. That's why I've invested into an ankle grinder. Again, everything they, like I said, to reiterate, everything they do is unlawful. But they do have, like you guys say, the police choose their side, even because they've been told to do so in their training, even though it is actually unlawful. Really, the police should not be involved at all, because it is a civil matter, it's not a criminal matter. No stalker today. No, she's not following me today. I get a restraining order, didn't I? Well, I've never been down this way either. I'm not too interested in the police having GCSEs. No, I think it's ridiculous now that you have to have a degree. They're really wanting people to have degrees now to be a copper, a nurse, etc. And probably a firefighter one day, all of that, right? And that's all just BS. They shouldn't be, because what the reason why there's two reasons why they're doing that. One is to obviously indoctrinate them in the indoctrination factory of you getting in debt and paying for your own indoctrination at university level, and listening to all of this shite that is going on in the world. Oh, there are 100 genders and blah 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 and all this crap, right? So you just become this compliant robot, right, of ridiculousness and anti-science. And the second reason is because everyone now goes to university since Tony Blair's education policy. There isn't really enough jobs to justify university degrees. What I'm saying is there's a hyperinflation of people with university degrees, and all they do is they just end up in jobs that you didn't need university degrees at all for, like whether it be receptionists, whether it be working in supermarkets, whether it be, I don't know, whatever it is, just any jobs really that you just didn't need a university degree for. Like for me example, I dropped out first year. I'm so glad I did. I actually kicked myself I didn't drop out sooner. I didn't go at all. But I had no degree, no skills, and I had a managerial white collar job eventually after I was a postman, and I worked, so I was a part-time postman whilst I was going to uni. And then I just thought, hang on a minute, I can do this full time, do loads of overtime as well, and just earn shitloads of money. Because postmen do earn quite a decent amount of money, to be honest with you, though. I don't really feel sorry for them when they're stressing. I mean, not being funny, your job is essentially putting a piece of paper into a hole in the door. It's not exactly rocket science, is it? Um, does it mean that, yes, you're out in the weather? Yes. Does it mean that you might have some weight on your back for a limited period but as you're delivering the mail, the weight goes down, obviously? Yes. But it's a good job, I think, for the pay that it gets, and all the benefits, etc. as well. So I just thought, fuck it. And then as I was in there, I worked my way up and I became a manager of offices. So look, this is very picturesque. Look. Little local shop. Do they have a cat on the counter that will cement it as being a proper village shop? Um, Local family currently living in Shoreham, desperately looking for a 3 to 4 bedroom house to rent in Shoreham or surrounding areas. Seven Oaks Garden Mason. No, nothing really here. Live band was this Shoreham Village Hall. Don't think I'll be around here for that point. So anyway, yeah, so you don't need university degrees. It's just It's just to justify people going to uni. It's actually quite tyrannical when you think about it. It's like, oh, I want to be a police officer. I want to be a nurse. Oh, I can't now because I need a degree. That means I have to get in debt, even though I've been fiscally responsible all my life. I have to get a degree. I have to go through the indoctrination cycle 3 years. I have to shut my mouth. I cannot say, I'm not allowed to speak out and go, well, actually, there's only two sexes. You've got to shut your mouth. Get in debt. Be constantly in debt for a significant amount of time of your life. This is what it's all about. There's the village hall. Buy something from them, mate. I'm trying to keep as much money as I have. I would support it. Trust me. If I had a bit of money right now, I would probably go in there and get something just for the. But to be fair, I believe this is actually literally from what I've seen, that is the only shop in the village. So it does essentially have a monopoly. So I'm sure they're doing fine. Yeah, exactly. I agree, Alphabet Cat. To be honest, even before Blair University 50% stuff, I think we were sending way too many people off to university. Yes, exactly. I totally agree. There should only been, really, I think back in the day, I think it was in your classroom, in your people in your class, your year, only 10% of them usually only went to uni, possibly even less than that. And the rest of the people just got jobs, went into the workforce, or went to polytechnics and got skills to become carpenters, electricians, whatever. See, that's what I would go, no, get rid of. I don't want people going to university. I'm going to make more emphasis for people going polytechnics or earn as you learn sort of jobs. The flying teapot. It's like a tea room. It's like a normal house, but it's somehow a tea room. An Asian family owned that shop. How do you know? Look, even if that is true, why isn't anyone else starting their own shop then? I don't think it is. I remember I went in there years ago. It was a white family, so I'm assuming, I've been there for years, but I'm assuming that it's the same family. What's this? The honey pot. What's this? Another tea room. Oh, 2 tea rooms within the same meters to each other, competing. Yeah, look, it's down. Look, it's got to be the only shop. Look, village shop. There's actually a sign pointing to it. Oh, where's the toilets? I could have gone. Didn't on the map. It didn't say there were any toilets. Christmas event. That's on Saturday. Saturday just gone. Mulled wine, £5.80. Festus glass. Oh, I've got to tell you what I did on the weekend. I had some mulled wine at Hope, Sussex. I went there Saturday. It's only £3.50 for their mulled wine. It was cold as well, so I wanted it. And oh yeah, I had a bit of a nightmare, guys. I could have done a live stream at Hope, Sussex, and I could have done a live stream in the town of Battle, because Hope, Sussex is near Battle. And I didn't, because I was a proper... Again, well, I've told you guys I'm cursed, yeah? I'm cursed at the moment. I just want to get it out of me. Is that I foolishly, schoolboy error, I locked my keys in my van. And I couldn't believe that I did it, because I've never done it before. No, tell a lie, I did do it before, in summer. But luckily my windows was open. I just climbed through my window. But obviously the windows were shut. And what happened was, I couldn't, as soon as I closed that door, I was like, oh my God. And I saw my keys. I've got this, you can see here, guys, let me just like, so Siraj gave me this, right? It is useful, right? It's a thing that attaches to your belt and it attaches to your keys, right? So, I usually just always have the keys like that, and I just didn't, right? And I put my keys onto, basically, on this little seat that is adjacent to the slide door. And then I saw my keys, and I went, oh, I must put them in my pocket before I lock myself out. And then I left the van, and then I closed the door. I locked myself out. And that was as soon as I arrived at Hope, Sussex at their Christmas fair. And I was pissed, guys, for real. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I just killed. I drove from Brighton. It's about an hour and a half drive. And I thought, great, I can chill and relax now with peeps I know at Hope, Sussex and whatever. And then I did that. And I purposely starved myself as well. I thought, I want to buy food from Hope, Sussex because I want to like support them. And I just lost my appetite, everything. I had to go up to this guy called Wayne. He's like one of Mad Mix's mates, and he was there too. And I said, Wayne, I said, well, I've just done something so stupid. I've locked my fucking keys in my van. So he went, don't worry, Sean, we'll sort this out. And I went, and I just couldn't enjoy myself. He says, look, all these lot are doing something now, but we'll sort it out later, or at most tomorrow. And I said, I don't have a place. My place is where I'm staying is in my van. I can't get into my van. And he says, don't worry, Sean, you can stay at mine tonight. So he's got like he's got a place nearby Battle. He thinks, and we'll come back in the morning, and then we'll just get the angle grinder out. Even if I did have one, it would be still in the van. I still wouldn't be able to use it. And then we'll cut through the van and we'll get it. So that's what they had to do. They had to cut through. They had to cut through the bulkhead. I still got the bulkhead in the van. And then I just simply fished the keys out the next morning. So thanks to Matt, Sadie's husband and stuff for doing that. So yeah, it's had a bit of a mini nightmare. Cow and horse are different species. Thank you, Eco Chip. Nice. Sorry, I'll come across. Thank you. If you have even 1% DNA, that is not, and you are not British by your own logic. What? What am I? Speaking of DNAs, Sean donated, check PM as different name. Sean donated, check PM. What does that mean? Does that mean you've donated, or does that mean I've got to do something with that? Jack, was that Dusty Rhodes? Are you calling yourself Dusty Rhodes because of the famous wrestler, or because of something else? Oh, the irony, different species indeed. You have an entire empty space where a brain should be. Guys, keep that civil. If you really think a brown person cannot be British, then you are not British. What's this? These things are sense to try. To try it, Sean. Yeah, Carnage, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Cool. Ego chip, you have an ego problem, a huge chip on your shoulder. Yeah, I do believe that, you know, I mean, really, what is... How far does this go back, really, depending on... I do think that if you are born in Britain, despite whatever colour you are British by de facto. You are English. You got a UK passport, everything. But it's far... How far are we going back here? I mean, the Romans were once here. They're obviously Italian and darker Caucasian skin. I mean, how far does the Britons after? I mean, how far are we going back here? I mean, like, what really is, you know, isn't just simply that England, Britain has always been like this. It's always been different, hasn't it? But I do think if someone is born here, then yeah, by de facto reasons, they are that kind of, like, if a white person's born in Japan, they're Japanese, aren't they? By de facto. Elon Musk, he's South African. I mean, are South Africans, are white South Africans South African? Or are they an invasive species? King's Arms, this is, I went in here, it's alright, before. But I remember this thing has been here for years. It's like a kind of, the Jolly Oslo, is it? So I've got this kind of thing in here. That's been there for years. Yeah, I'm not British. I'm English. Dusty was Dad's nickname in the army. Alright, because it's also a famous wrestler called Dusty Rhodes. Look at mine, tells you he wasn't born, he's more British than most. Yeah, I think he was born in Iran, wasn't he? But I was going to go on to something now and I've forgotten ever since that little tiff on there. What was it? That's where I was earlier. Yeah, so I'm expecting more drama with the whole clamping thing. AMPR stuff. But I think if enough people just simply did that, not pay the CAS, the ULEZ, all of that, just kept a cordless angle grinder in their boot, and then if they come back from their shopping or whatever and there's a clamp on it, I would say, personally, leave, wait until they go, stay your ground, saying no, I'm not. They can't tow your vehicle away if you're in it. It's a health and safety thing. So you can use their own rules against them. Health and safety is just nuts, but you can use that against them. Wait for them to fuck off because they can't be there all day. Just say no, I'm not paying you. Wait for them to fuck off. Then I'll just angle grind it off. Because they might try some bullshit and say, oh, it's property damage. even though it's unlawfully clamped. Do you know what I mean? Or put a clamp on their vehicle and say, just have a standoff. And then obviously if they ankle grind your thing off, you can go, well, that's property damage, mate. You're doing exactly what I've just done to you. Put a clamp on your vehicle. And obviously the threat of you saying that, oh, if I ankle grind that off, it's property damage. Well, it's going to be property damage now, isn't it, for you? You've now entered a contracting. If you go play them by their own game. Yeah, funny thing about Persia, when Iran used to be Persia, it changed its name to Iran because the Shah of Persia at the time, he was in alliance with Hitler. So this is what Maya Tazi probably won't tell you, and how the narrative has been changed. History is trying to be rewritten. The reason why the Shah changed the name from Persia to Iran was because Hitler and the Shah at the time were very in line with the Aryan people. Iran means Aryan, so it's the land of Aryans. That's what Iran means. Obviously, they'll try and tell you some bullshit is that, oh, Iran actually stands for Islamic Republic, blah blah blah. It's not. They changed it because it means Aryan. Because Hitler and the Shah were very, very interested in the Aryan race, to the point that obviously they were allies, but also because there was a belief that in that sector of, if you see the land, the time of what is it, the zodiac sign of what is it? I'm terrible with zodiac signs. What's the one that's like Aryan? What do you call it? Or the time? You know that we're in the time of Aquarius. So basically, that land, they're saying, as well as others, is part of the Aryan race, and that's why they renamed it. So technically, Maya Tausi is a white supremacist. Is an Aryan supremacist. See here. So back at the past, so we're free park. I didn't have a look in that Crown properly. We've passed by. It's the age of Aquarius. It's the Aquarius. Oh. So I need to look it up again, but it is quite interesting, the whole why Persia renamed itself Iran. English flag up there. See, I see myself as English. I do not recognise. I think the British establishment has a lot to. I very much take the Graham Moore / Robin Tilbrook approach on this. Is that Britain, or the British establishment, the British Empire, and all of that, they were very tyrannical. And caused a lot of problems in the world, whereas the English has always come up with civil liberties, whereas Britain has been very type. Like, so basically, England is the sort of libertarian part of it, and Britain, the name, the establishment, is very much the authoritarian side of it. Well, I don't recognise myself as British. I call myself English. I always say that. I'm not Welsh. I'm not Scottish. I'm not Northern Irish. I am English. Same here, Sean. England and the other nations are under occupation from Britain. Yeah, I do. I do believe that. I do. I actually do believe that. I'm very much a what do you call it? I want England to secede from the UK. Obviously, people like Robin Tilbrook and Graham Moore say you have to repeal the Act of Union. But obviously, that is like the equivalent of I think climbing Mount Everest would be a more easier task than getting a majority of MPs and Lords to repeal that act. Yeah. I don't. It's funny with the whole UK. People are so pro-British, pro-United Kingdom, and a lot of the people who are pro-United Kingdom, they're usually pro. They're usually anti-EU. Pro-Brexit. And that's a very interesting kind of contradiction in a way, because all of the same arguments for leaving the EU, the European Union, is the exact same arguments for leaving the United Kingdom. So it's quite funny how it's like, yeah, we're against them. They'll talk so deeply and passionate about our economy would be stronger and we would rule ourselves and all of this. And it's the exact same arguments with like, for example, the Westminster Parliament is not an English. England doesn't even have a parliament. Ironically, the most discriminated nations out of the four nations is actually England. Wales has their own parliament. Scotland has their own parliament. Northern Ireland has their own parliament. England has nothing. England doesn't have any kind of... It doesn't have a first minister. Scotland has a first minister. Wales, Northern Ireland. Does Northern Ireland have one? I can't remember now. England does not have one. You have Gordon Brown, a Scottish MP, as in his constituency was actually in Scotland. He was the Prime Minister. He ruled over England. So they can have MPs in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, who can later become the Prime Minister of the UK and England. But we, English people, cannot have MPs in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland to become the First Minister. So England really is, and I think the reason why that is because England is to the British establishment is the most dangerous nation, because England. So if you go, so I think England. So the UK, they'll say the UK is the sixth most powerful economy. Now that's actually not true. England is the sixth most powerful economy. So if England was, let's just say if England did leave the UK, England would still be the sixth most powerful economy. The rest of them are just cadgers. Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, they're just along for the ride. They're shit. All of English taxpayers' money as well goes to Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland to prop them up because they're useless, really. So that is again taxation without representation. There's literally a little known country in the West called the United States of America that actually started a war over that. That's how much they were against it. So we've got so all of your taxpayers' money right now, if you're working in England, is going to the other three nations to prop them up. So that is taxation without representation, because you don't have any representatives in those other three nations because they've got their own parliaments. So it's a total con. So I would say to anyone, no, I mean, I've got no issue with trading with Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. I'll be friends with them in some kind of trading market. But that's it. I don't want any political power to it. Be friends with your nations. Don't be in political unions with them. Same thing with the EU. It's the exact same argument. So it just baffles me how... mean, I'm not being funny, but a lot of Brexiteers are fucking morons I've met over the years. It's like a lot of the like sort of milquetoast conservative people, you know, that are supporters of the Conservative Party, you know, they're just fucking morons, a lot of them. That's not to say that the Remainers and Labour aren't morons too, but it's just this funny sort of complex that they have where they generally think that they're more smarter. Well, I mean, are they more smarter? The, it's quite hard. It's very difficult to describe them. It's like they all have. They perhaps you can argue that yeah, they're a little bit more intelligent, but it's very just a little bit, and they only have. You can see the invisible glass ceiling of their mental capacity and capabilities. Like, oh, British, yep, the king, yep, God bless him, yep. Oh, tally ho, yep. We've got to support Zelensky, yes. Oh, yeah, Israel, that's fantastic, yep. Did you see the article that reckoned that under Labour government you would get 2 years in prison for misgendering? Yeah, I did. I've heard that, yes. But the problem is that it would happen regardless of even Tories are in power. See, I've said this, at least say what you want about Labour, and trust me, I'm no supporter of Labour, but at least they're honest in what they want to do to you. They go, right, we want to do this. They'll tell you to your face what they want to do. The Tories will lie to you to your face and pretend to be your ally. Look at all these cunts you got on the ULEZ protest, all these fucking Tory wankers, right? Going, oh yeah, it's ridiculous. Look at Suzanne Hall, the mayor candidate, right? So the official statement, the official party line on ULEZ is we will not extend ULEZ at this time. That's the key word. That's the key 3 words you need to listen to. At this time. So Susan Hall has said, and I've interviewed her personally, and she has said that yes, we will not extend the ULEZ to where it is now, to where it was, North-South Circular, right? But she won't remove the cameras. So all of the newly placed cameras within the M25, more or less, she's going to keep them all. So that tells you that because the official party line is not at this time, they are keeping the cameras there because obviously once they're up and then to take them down again might be an expense. Not that they give a shit about money, really. They're just keeping them up because they will extend it eventually. So they're just liars to you. They'll tell you that, oh, yeah, we're against the ULEZ. It's like, you fucking created the ULEZ, you lying fucking cunts. You created it under Boris Johnson, the Mayor Boris Johnson. The Cameron government authorised Boris Johnson to go ahead with the ULEZ. So basically, the Transport Secretary at the time, or whatever, like, I assume it's the Transport Minister, basically gave the green light. No pun intended. And then Boris just put it in motion, and then Sadiq just took over what Boris had already. He didn't get to implement it because obviously he was gone, but he got all the framework ready and everything. So it doesn't really matter. So the misgendering thing, that's just going to come along anyway. Like the Conservative Party are only about 2 years behind Labour in anything that they do. Our Conservatives, objectively, are Conservatives conservative? What are they conserving? What exactly are they conserving? I mean, let's just say the Conservatives are a British party, right? This is what I mean about the whole British establishment, about how it's just a tyrannical con. English culture is very pro-liberty. British culture is very pro-tyranny, right? What are they conserving? Are they fiscally responsible? Do they care about mass migration? Because ever since the Tories took over in 2010, and they've been in power since, they've actually tripled, quadrupled the amount of mass immigration that has come in. They have no interest in stopping it. So they're not conserving British culture, are they? You've got fiscally. Oh, we're the party of business. We're the party of fiscal. When they say the party of business, that means they're the party of big multinational corporations, big global multicultural action. That's what that means. We're the party of. That's the language that they use, right? You just got to learn how to read their language. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck about small businesses. They'll steamroll just straight over them. Fiscally responsible. It's they have, so since again 2010, they have, I can't even tell you how many times I think they've tripled the national debt. So they've actually indebted the country more than the Socialist Party, i.e. Labour. So this isn't a party of fiscal responsibility. There's no conservatism in Conservative Party, and they don't give a fuck about the culture that they supposedly are for. It's just the whole thing's a total nonsense. This is what I'm saying. It's like they are whatever people think of Labour, the Tories are worse. Like in any kind of measurement, they've tripled the debt, they've quadrupled the mass immigration. I mean, the only defence people might say is, even though they can't, how would they know? What do they jump into in different dimensions if the Labour Party stayed in power? Is that, it'll be worse under Labour. But how's it any better? Like, really? Oh, it's slightly less worse. Zionists have imported Islam to Europe. So for some reason, Hector's house, your message isn't showing, but I can read it out because I'm the show. Zionists have imported Islam to Europe to destroy it. Muslims are a weapon, yet Tawzi is a Zionist. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They are using Israel, the state of Israel, not all Jewish people, just the people who are Zionists, pro-state of Israel. They are using Muslims as a tool, as a weapon, to ship them all over countries, and then people, because they do not understand the bigger picture, all they're seeing is Muslim invaders, right? Whatever you want to call them. They'll go, oh, we've got to be against Islam because look, they're invading our country. Yes, who's doing it? Who's allowing that to happen? It's Israel. They're the ones doing it. All the NGOs, all of them, they're funded by pro-Israel lobbying firm. Tommy Robinson, he's literally got his court. He's literally paid. He got his court costs paid by the Middle Eastern Forum. That is a pro-Israel lobby. And I think they're called the Stilson Foundation. Again, another pro-Israel lobby. And now Tommy Robinson, after his arrest on Sunday, he's everywhere. He's on LBC, he's on everything. The guy's either a total fucking moron who cannot see the bigger picture, right? Or he is aware of it and he's just riding this wave. That's all he is. Do you know what I mean? He's a man, essentially. I mean, I'm not being funny, guys. If Tommy Robinson walked in, say you never knew nothing about him, right? And he wasn't, who he was, yeah? And you just looked at that guy and he still had the same mannerisms, same characteristics. Would you trust him with money? Come on, guys. Be real here. Guy's a total con artist. Hello. Oh, look, there's a little dog following me. Hello. Good boy or girl, whatever you are. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's my dog now, it looks like. He's a grifter with an agenda. Yeah, you know what? I actually love, in a way, I mean, it's wrong that he got arrested. Again, the police, they should not have that power to ban people from protests. I mean, do we have freedom of assembly or do we not? Well, no, we don't. But at least it's being shown to average people that we don't. The lie is that, we do, but we really don't. How much power have I got? 51%, cool. I was going to say, yeah, so he got arrested, and this has to show you guys, right, that especially if you're an average working class person, right, The people in that march on Sunday, they were all elitist people. They look down on all of you. They can see you all as scum. It's a class thing. And you see people, even though Robinson has been bastardizing, even if you are a person who is a supporter of the UK, the British flag, bastardized the British flag by half British, half State of Israel. Even though all of his videos, I am a Zionist, all of this sort of stuff. Yeah, I support Israel and all of that. And then he gets a taste of reality. And it's either, I just think he just doesn't care. He just cares more about money, really. He doesn't care that he's been... so all of the shit he's done, I said to this, when he was let out on Twitter, he's going to be used like a tool. And he has been used like a tool. But he's just such a fucking moron. Either he can't see it, and he's been turfed out of that elitist pro-Zionist sort of lobbying group, or not lobbying group, the protest, the march. And he just thought, oh, maybe I'll get into the club, maybe people will accept me now. They will never accept you, Tommy. No matter what you do, you can suck, what's his name? Netanyahu's cock on live TV, and they will never accept you, Tommy. You could join. You could join up with the IDF front line and be a military hero to the IDF. That they would never have him. They still don't care. They will still, that exact same scenario will still happen. Police will walk into a pub where he's having his breakfast, and they tell him to leave the area, even though there's no lawful reason to do that. So you can continue being a bitch to the State of Israel, be a total Zio shill, culture grifter, whatever you want to call it. You will never be accepted by them. And I think also, do you know what? But I'm leaning more on the latter. He does realise this, but he goes out to places, he gets nicked, people feel sympathy for him. Oh, no, Tommy, remember Tommy Tards? Oh, Tommy, oh, it's so wrong. Here, have some money. And it's just, I'll tell you what, if you want to watch a really good analysis of it, watch UNN from last night. Go on to the UNN Rumble channel, or UNN D Live. D Live's only up for, old shows are only there for about 3 days max, I believe. But Rumble, it's always there. Go on to the UNN Rumble, or D Live, it's still there. And watch David Cluse's take on what he believes is just a total paid, total intelligence asset is Robinson, and people like Paul Mason, Hope Not Hate, which fucking morons, like Speaker's Corner Steve, speaks to regularly, etc. Hope Not Hate, the Hope Not Hate guy. Hope Not Hate is the unofficial Gestapo of this country, if people aren't aware. They have regular meetings with Cobra, they have regular meetings with Prevent, I should say, the counter-terrorism state arm of this state. They're given access to people's files that they shouldn't normally be allowed to have. It should be it should not be available to any public body, as in any outsider state body like Hope Not Hate, which claims to be like a sort of charity-like organization. These are basically what the state does to get around. Obviously, the state is not allowed to have a Gestapo or something like that. So what they do is they create proxies, and the proxies, they'll create a charity organization. Look at the white helmets in Syria. That's a total MI6 proxy. They try and set themselves out as some St. John ambulance. Oh, we just rescue people on both sides. No, they're not. That is basically a MI6 asset. So that is what basically Robinson is now. He is just a state asset. So is Paul Mason. Like I said, he sits with the Nudge unit, sits with Cobra, sits with Prevent, and they talk about all the people that they're following. It's a state asset because obviously the MI5 etc. are not allowed to spy on their own citizens, right? It's international law. So what they do to get around it, they create proxies, they create private companies, or, pretending that I'll just go, oh, you'll find, like for example, like the guy who set up the white helmets in Syria. Guess what? Ex MI6 agent. Wow, what coincidence. He's now dead, by the way, because I think he basically played his luck too much, and probably one of Assad's men just killed him. One of their sort of operatives killed him. You'll find that with all sorts of organisations like that. It's like, what do they do? Who are they married to? What's their previous job, or what do their parents do? You'll find the truth that one of those three things: former job, who are they married to, parents. If Iceland cancel their national anthem, then why can't Britain just put into Parliament by hand? Because they want you to be in debt. Because if a nation's in debt, that means you're in debt. And because of that, you obviously have less wealth. If you have less wealth, you're more subservient to the state, especially if you go on benefits. So now your state, if you go on welfare, your boss is the government, essentially. Well, not the government, the state to be exact. Also, as you have less money, you can't own as much things. You can't do as many things. So that's the reason why they purposely keep you in a state of debt. And obviously this wouldn't have happened if the country remained on the gold standard. Because only a limited amount of resource of gold in the world. So they don't have it. Then again, they probably just borrow off other countries, to be honest. Yeah, I've got a little sticker here. Maybe I should put it on one of... Next time I see a lamppost, I'll put it... I happen to have a sticker in my pocket. Got it from Hope. I thought, I'll put that somewhere. There's a few of them. Go, all wars are bankers' wars. I like how they had the correct grammar as well. Inverted comma after the S, if that makes sense. Like, it does. Where should I put it? Should I put it on this lamppost? I want to put it on a tree. So when people are coming out there, they will read this. There we go. When they come out from that path down there. And do I need to mention about the central banking system? Do I need to mention what certain group of people are vastly overrepresented in banking, in mainstream media, in Hollywood, in politics, in NGOs, in corporations? So I was on. See, this is what I'm talking about. I was on earlier. There was I just happened to be scrolling through my Facebook, and I'm part of this group called about Sargon of Akkad. You know, the Lotus Eaters, or as I call them, the Low Take Eaters. And they're just fucking morons at this point now. They've reached their intellectual sort of ceiling, and that was reached back in probably 2018 perhaps, and ever since then there's just been a retardation where they can't grow, they can't go past the invisible ceiling. And it was just this sort of low IQ meme of stereotypical kind of Palestine. Again, I'm not a supporter of Palestine, but a Palestinian supporter saying, you know, it basically just a speech bubble with the Israel flag and the, you know, the no sign, you know, like the Ghostbusters, like the no sign. And then in the next meme, it had a KKK, a Ku Klux Klan member, also with the same speech bubble, and then they shared the same speech bubble to say that the meme was basically saying that if you criticize Israel, then you are basically the exact same as a KKK member. Now, that's very dishonest meme. It's just not accurate either. So, see this horse. Hello. Can anyone see this horse? This is like a really bad sun flare on this. I've got no food for this. These are young horses, and I've got no food for them. They're going to come over thinking I've got something for them. White horses. You alright? It is. You're right, Alphabet Cat. The symbol, the emblem of Kent is a rising white horse. So there you go. They're young, so they're like just playing with each other. They're horsing around, horseplay. So there you go. Anyway, I've got nothing for them, so don't have anything for myself, mate. Never mind horses. There they go. I found out quite an interesting thing. You know the Lloyd's Bank commercial with a black horse, and you always see it running? This is something weird, right? So, years ago, I met this girl at a party, right? And she said, yeah, I work for Lloyd's, so I do their advertisements. And I said, oh, all right, cool. She says, like, yeah, you know, like, we're only allowed to film one side of the horse running. I say, what? I say, why? Says it's got something to do with some copyright bullshit. So basically, every Lloyd's ad you'll ever see, whether on YouTube ads or whether on TV, right, the horse is only running in one, like, it will always be the same imagery of the horse. It will always be running, like, you only see one, it'll be the same side of the horse that you'll see. You'll never see the opposing side of the horse. Because it's some kind of copyright thingy-majig, I don't know. They just have to film it in that particular angle of that. Like, they can't film it the other way, like reversed. Don't know. I don't know why. It was something to do with copyright infringement and stuff like that. So if I was to film the horse, see horses there, right? These are the same horses, right? Where is it? So see, that way it's allowed, but that way now it's not allowed. The one that's moving, so it can't be filmed that. But this way, yes, Lloyd's, but the other way, no. Ain't that weird? Going to smoke a blunt, then go post some parcels. Wow, I wish I could do that, helmets. Horses need 5G. They're fighting over me. Yeah, they're probably female horses. They're probably female horses. Hi, Sean. Hope you. All right, Steve. How are you? Yeah, I'm just walking around Shoreham, little village in Kent. Lovely little village. And also, I was just saying about how I sent a text today, an ominous text saying that Your vehicle has been marked for ANPR from private debt collectors, Bristow and something. Contact Gareth. He gave me the number or something. Contact Gareth to be removed from the system for a fee of 350 quid. Every Gareth I've ever met in my life has been a total fucking bellend, and it's just such an appropriate name for a debt collector, Gareth. Like, my landlord was a guy called Gareth. Well, he's a total fucking wanker as well. So basically, yeah, my vehicle is being basically pegged for land pirates to chase my vehicle, basically. So I've invested into an angle grinder. I'm not paying it, obviously, as I've not paid any of the ULED stuff. So just gonna have to grind it off. There's loads of YouTube videos about it. Mark Windows said it as well. You just got to grow some balls, guys, and actually, you know, just cut it off. It's unlawful that they're doing it. There's no lawful means to do it. It's basically just a giant bluff. It's blackmail, essentially. Oh, give us either the clamp will stay on, or you pay X amount of money, or it stays on. And then people go shit themselves because people are used to, you know, obeying authority, and obviously they wear police-like uniforms. Oh, they're authority, you know, and all of this sort of shit. And people don't usually carry around angle grinders in their boots. But my advice to people is do carry them around. Then just cut them off, because they're unlawfully. They have placed their property onto your property, and your property can't move now. So, what's the next train? Go Oxford, or I could go Oxford's nice, but it's not as nice as Shoreham. Gonna go Ainsford, I reckon, next. That train's cancelled. So when's the next one? 3 o'clock. I'm gonna go back to my van, get something to eat. Like thawing off in my freezer, and then I may do another live stream, charge my phone up a bit, and then do another live stream in Ainsford. Yeah, got the castle there as well, and the Ford. That's pretty cool. So don't forget to go into Shoreham's only shop, guys. I barely have any money, guys. Okay, that shop has a monopoly. There's a little village shop. People came later, all right. There's literally only one shop in the village, right? There's 3 pubs and 1 shop. They basically have a monopoly and there's no other shops around for miles. So they have a monopoly in the village. I'm sure they're all right, okay? Yeah, what's going on with yeah, so I've been hearing Standing a Light Festival. I was at Hope Sussex on Saturday. Quite a fun time there, you know, after I had kind of let the tragedy of me having a mini meltdown because I locked my keys in the van. Then we had to we had to angle grind through the bulkhead, but it's okay, don't worry, I've got like it's okay, it's cool. So yeah, they were telling me that basically a Standing a Light Festival, Darren wants to get about at least 2,000 people. Look at that, I never noticed that before. They've got a little cross, they've done a giant cross on the field. Darren wants at least 2,000 people at his festival next year, the Lake District. That's pretty cool if he can do that. And I've heard the ways that, so because I was a bit questioning why he wants people to become members. Got to sign up to a members list, and I was thinking, that sounds a bit data harvesting-y sort of thing. I don't quite like the sound of that. And obviously now I understand why, because it's a way of getting around that number of people. I thought it was only going to be like, 500 people, 400 people. I think 499 people you're allowed to have before you need any kind of higher kind of permits and shit. But someone was telling me one of the sound guy. He's a really cool guy, who I met on Saturday. He was telling me that, so what we got to do to get around it, if you have a private members kind of event, you can have up to X amount of thousand people, like about, I can't remember what he said, about 4,000, 3,000. And becoming a member then, that sort of gets around it. And I thought, okay, cool, that explains it. Now, I could have volunteered for it, but at the moment, it's only 20 quid, which is a very reasonable asking price. So I wanted to volunteer, and I thought, do you know what, it's only 20 fucking quid. I mean, till the 1st of January, it's 20 quid. Then after that, it will go up to whatever other prices it's going to go up to. I can't go wrong with 20 quid though, guys, can you? I just thought, fuck it. If I just pay 20 quid and do whatever the fuck I want, then obviously when you're a volunteer, you have to do shifts and work and shit like that. I tried to do that with Hope Sussex last year, and I was not at peak efficiency, let's just say, when I was doing my volunteering at the gate with Wayne. Security is 2-hour shift a day. That's not too bad. No bars. Bring your own. But yeah, that's exactly how it should be. That's like how Carry On Camping have. That's exactly how it should be. You just bring. You know, no questions asked. You just bring in your own booze, man. That's where sort of, again, Jam for Freedom, another fuck up that Campbell did, is that he applied for a booze license, and because he was selling booze on the premises. The hilarious thing about that was also is that Campbell, being Campbell, he fucked up on that as well, and he actually, the week he got the license, the booze license to sell booze, was actually the weekend after the festival. So technically, every single, not even technically, like legally, every single alcohol that they sold on at Jam for Freedom Festival was actually illegal, and he could actually be done for that. So that's because classic Campbell. So like I said, the guy's like he's like Del Boy without the charm, plus Alan Partridge, plus a little bit of Baldrick. That's rolled into one person, right? Yeah, that's what he would do. He would charge everyone £7. That's what he did, didn't he? How much was a pint? How much was a pint? It was that price, wasn't it? It was something like that. So yeah, that's quite interesting. But I wouldn't be shocked if the police move in on that. If the Stand in the Park one, the Standing a Light Festival, I mean, 2,000 people there. Because you imagine it, just 2,000 conspiracy theorists. They're all assembling. They're talking about bringing down government and whatever. This had to narrative. This had to like, you know, make it out to be the local press and all that. And then, even though it's all legit, technically, you know, lawfully, they're still moving anyway because they don't give a fuck, do they? Had that with the first Hope Sussex Festival. They tried to come in, didn't they? The first one, not the one just gone the summer before. The police tried to move in, but luckily, Katie Jo dealt with it, and she de-escalated the situation and just showed them all the paperwork, because what they wanted to do was, they were just like, oh, we want to send like 4 police officers in and just patrol the festival. And I tell you what, that would have killed the festival if they'd done that, because a lot of people would have lost trust with Hope Sussex then. You see what I mean? You've let police onto the site, you know what I mean? People would have probably, I reckon a lot of people would have just left the festival, I reckon, if that happened. But she may say, no, sorry, it's private property, you can't come on unless you got a warrant, blah blah blah. You know, don't worry. They were like, oh, well, people might get harmed. It's all right, don't worry, mate, we all got phones, we can all call the police if we need you. Oh, we care about your health, and this is the route they go down. We care about your health and your safety. We're not there just to spy. Thank you. know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to get, as Steve's there, I'm trying to get, I messaged David yesterday and I said, look, there's all these festivals coming up. Why don't we try something new and do a UNN live show, like what UK Column does sometimes, and the Denim Poles, Denim Pod or whatever you call it. Why don't we do that? Something new, isn't it? So, I mean, the Lake Districts, David always stays in Scotland most of the time, might come down to Newcastle at most. But I say, look, it's in the Lake District, right on the border of Scotland. Why don't we try it? Standing a Light Festival. See what happens. Yeah, well, this is me basically doing some backdoor political deals, even though this is a live stream. Backdoor political deals with one of my UNN associates. So now we have to convince Gold Eagle, Anthony Webber, Neil McRae, Kate Shimarani, Jackie Devoy, and I haven't properly watched the new guy who's on tonight at 7. I don't know him. I don't know the show, so I've not properly watched it yet because the first 2 shows were a bit of a nightmare to watch because it's like bad audio because it's their first time. But I think by now we should have sorted it, so I might watch it tonight to see it properly. I just thought, no, I won't judge it now because it's like my first few shows are just totally totally on no matter what you think about the shows now. Fuck me, it was just unwatchable. My first 5 shows, because I was doing it day to day. Have to see how the internet is up there. I'm sure we can get something done. Well, it doesn't have to be live. Well, it'd be good if it was live, but it can just be recorded and then just uploaded on UNN's Rumble eventually, or an Odyssey, etc. But yeah, it would be good if it's live though as well. Right, I've done a lap of this village, sorry. And what I'm going to do is going to go get something to eat from my van, and then I might hop on, because I've got nothing to do today. I've got a dead day today. It's tomorrow onwards I've got everything to do. So what I'm going to do is, got to get something to eat. I might hop on a train then to Amesford, one stop, and show you where I used to bring the ladies when I used to live in Swanley. So, yeah. New guy, not my cup of tea. I don't know. I need to, because I've not given him a proper chance yet. I've not seen it myself. I don't know who he is. Gold Eagle knew who he was. I don't know if Steve knows. I don't know. But I think he's got some kind of YouTube channel as well, like me. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just going to walk back now, and I'm going to head off. Yeah, that's true actually. If it is live, there will be watching in. Maybe we should just record it then. Don't know. Or maybe we'll arrange it when it's like on the last day or something. It doesn't really matter then. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna go, guys. Like I said, this is going to be interesting times when I'm back on the road again, because obviously I've got the land pirates now marked me like a shark, marked my van like a shark, coming back later to put a clamp on with their ANPR technology. So they'll be chasing me down the motorway. So yeah, that's why I invested today in a angle grinder, cordless one. So in order to get those beasts off, I got to clamp myself, or I just clamp their vehicle as well as I'm going. They're only £12 on eBay. It's worth the lols, isn't it? So anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. Do watch UNN tonight, every night. I'm not on tonight, but it's on every night, 7 p.m. I'm on tomorrow, from tomorrow and Thursday. And I'm using the YouTube app. I can't actually type anything, but I'm sure if people want to donate or whatever, I'm sure you'll find the donation link somewhere. Or you can just type it in yourself, like !fuel or !beer, and it will come up. So I'm going to head off. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Nightbot. Thank you, Lisa Sargent, I should say. I thought that might have been the automated one. So yeah, I might be back later, guys, doing the live stream from Ainsford. I'm just going to have something to eat, because I'm not eating all day. And we will see you soon. Take care, guys. See you later. Yeah, but I'll be moving the vehicle at that point, though. So, dusty roads, so don't matter. Take care. See you later. Bye-bye.